attention, do away with any agent of destruction, and then pay solely attention to today's program and listen. I hope there is definitely one thing you are going to attain which is going to help your life in the nearby future. When we talk about obedience, what at all is obedience? Obedience is when people tell you to do anything, then you adhere to it and then you do it. In simple terms, that is obedience. When you read the Bible in the book of Hebrews chapter 13 verse 17, it tells us that obey your leaders and submit to them as they are keeping watch of your soul. Obey your leaders and submit to them as they are keeping watch of your soul. And then also when you are obeying them because they are keeping watch of your soul, you need to do all the things that will help them to be motivated enough to keep watch of your soul. Because people who are keeping watch of your soul, you shouldn't joke with them. Because the least mistake you do, they will take the soul from you. Martin Luther said something, that the crown, obedience is the crown of virtue. In this case, obedience is something that we as children should not joke with. A friend of mine once took her car to the mechanic to fix in a car seat for her. When she took the car there, she met the mechanic all right, gave the car to the mechanic. Then the mechanic asked of the manual to the car, to the fixing of the seat. Unfortunately, she didn't send it because she couldn't find it. So the mechanic, doing this work for a very long time, decided that, okay, let me try with my experience and then try to fix the seat. He tried and tried and tried, almost wasted a half day, but couldn't fix the seat, unfortunately. So my friend returned home one day. She was trying to clean up her room, and then happily enough, she bumped into this manual. When she found it, another time she took the car seat to the mechanic together with the manual. The moment the mechanic got hold of the manual, he opened it, and then within the next 30 minutes, amusingly, the car seat was fixed already. What is found in the manual? The manual contains rules on how to fix the car seat. You see that without the rules, no matter the experience that this mechanic has acquired in the past years, he fumbled because there are so many different types and different ways of fixing it. So with the help of the manual, which has the rules, the mechanic also obeyed all the rules in the book. And so for that reason, it took him a very short possible time to fix the seat. Sometimes it's very difficult to obey because we feel that there are so many rules that we need to obey. And sometimes we even wish we don't adhere to these rules that are given unto us to obey. But when we obey them, it comes with a whole lot of benefits. When you obey rules, it tells that you love people. When I am your mother, I give you rules to obey and you don't obey them. It obviously tells me that you don't love me. It will not even propel me to love you more. Because when I tell you to do something and you refuse to do it, how am I going to grow the love that I have for you? So the more you obey all the things I tell you, the more I also grow the love I have for you. The more we grow the bond that occurred within us in the years ahead or in the past years. It also tells us that we believe. Now, I have told you this place is risky. Don't go there. But because you do not believe what I am telling you, you refuse to obey what I'm telling you, and then you go and face that risk. So obedience also tells you that you have belief for authority, you have belief for your parents, you have belief for your guidance. And so it tells the degree at which you have belief for people. And then it also talks about, it also brings blessings onto an individual, onto either a child. Now specifically because we are talking to children, let me use children as the point of contact. Okay. So it brings blessings onto children. Now let's look at the instance I just gave in relation to the mechanic and my friend. Now when the mechanic was able to fix the seat in the car, Now the baby can sit in the car comfortably without any fear or trembling, because he followed the rules and has been able to fix the seat. So the blessing over here is that your baby is safe, comfortably in her seat. Now once the baby is safe, the mother has a sound mind to drive. Because if the baby is not glued in the seat and she's shivering, shaking here and there, crying, you see that your attention will be distracted from your wheels. So the least thing, you have to look back. The mother now has a sound mind to drive. It is also a blessing.
Of course.
You will only know it is a blessing when you get an accident. Yes. And then the mechanic also had a blessing from obeying the rules in the manual. The blessing he also had is that he also earned a living. He also had something, because after the work, he charged the woman and took something. So obedience is very important in the life of every growing child. When you see any matured, prominent person on this earth, that person was once an obedient child. Regardless whether the person attained the riches in the positive or the negative way, the person was obedient regardless. Because even if you go for Sakawa, you need to obey the rules that you are given before the riches will come to you. Yes. And so it tells us that obedience is very, very important in the growing of every child. So my dear children that are listening to me, if you want to attain blessing, if you want your parents to love you, if you want people to know you believe them so they can do better things for you in the nearby future, then obedience should be a key thing in your life. Even though it's a child care involves both mother and children's side. Yes, it's a coordination. The child has a role to play, parents have a role to play. And so when we coordinate like that, then we will have a very successful home as a family. So children, allow yourselves to be raised in the sense of duty, in the sense of obedience, as well as guilt, so that someday the aspirations that you have ahead, or anything or any goal that you have planned to achieve in the nearby future, by God's grace, you will successfully achieve them.